Today's day is solely dedicated to mindset shift. And for those that know me, my friends, my family will always talk about how Shaq loves to talk around mindset. It's my favorite topic. I'm so passionate about, and I'm a great advocate for a positive and a growth mindset. I always say, if you want to enhance your life and make your life better in any kind of way, it all starts here, how your mind works. So focus and invest on a growth mindset, because it's the lens. The mindset is the lens how we perceive what's happening in the outside world, and how we then take it and interpret it within our brain and in our internal systems, which obviously causes us to react in certain ways. So mindset is so important. I've also got a channel on TikTok called Motivation, which was mainly created around mindset and how to encourage people to focus on that growth and positive mindset. So the three ways that mindset shift has worked in my life. Number one is that taking ownership and accountability. And for those of you that have followed my videos up until now, you would now know that my childhood was split between two countries. I lived in Pakistan for a fair number of years, and then moved to the UK at the age of 13, where for a number of years then I lived by myself without parents. And for a certain amount of time, I used to share that story with people in search for some sympathy towards oh my God, you were 14 and living by yourself and you had to cook and clean and blah, 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 in search for that sympathy, right? I would always, until I wasn't aware about it, I would almost, you could consider it as play that victim mindset card, where you're looking at, oh, can you believe it? I was living by myself at the age of 14 and X, Y, Z. But recently, when I say recently, over the last couple of years, I started to see that as a strength. And I started to ask myself, as a result of living by myself at that age, what are some of the skills that I've developed? What areas am I now strong and robust in that I wouldn't be had I not had that journey of life of living by myself? Which areas of life am I excelling in today as a result of that living by myself for a few years? And there are. So I started to take ownership and accountability. And instead of playing the victim card, I started to say, actually, do you know what? I learnt things from that. And I grew from that. And would I change it today? The answer is no. And it's a question I often bring up when I'm in conversations with people, which is that if you could take away all the negative things that have happened to you in life, the caveat here is that everything that you've learned and gained as a result of those negative experiences would be taken away from you too. Would you take away those negative experiences? And a lot of the times the conversation and the answers is no, we wouldn't change it. And it's similar for me. I wouldn't change me living away from my family. I wouldn't change me living at the age of 14 by myself, because what I've gained from it, my relationships from there, what I've grew up to be like, and again, most importantly, the position in life I'm in today, I wouldn't want to give that up. And it wouldn't be possible had I not gone and lived those few years by myself and away from my family. So yeah, it made me more robust, more resilient, and it grew me. So I wouldn't change it. Number two mindset shift is about identity. Who do you identify as? Because it's your identity that brings on change. It's not the willingness to do something that brings on change. It's what you perceive yourself as. How do you identify yourself? And let me give you a quick example. Back at university time, I was in a social group where I picked up the habit of smoking. So I'd smoke cigarettes. I'd say probably 3-4 cigarettes a day. Initially started off with not liking it, and then eventually some things you do continuously, you start to like it or enjoy the taste of it. And the most important factor is that I was surrounded by smokers, so I picked up the habit of smoking. One day I came back home, and I think it was someone from my family who made the comment of how bad the smell of cigarettes was to them, and they were like, oh my god, I can't believe how bad it smells. And that embarrassed me and put me a level of shame onto me. And they say one of the biggest factors for change is when a person is embarrassed or to shame. That was my moment. And you know, from that day, I completely quit smoking. Whenever I was offered a cigarette, this would be my response. No, I'm not a smoker. There's a massive difference between saying I'm not a smoker and identifying yourself as not a smoker versus, oh no, I'm just trying to quit. So here's a great tip for you if you want to stop smoking. Whenever someone passes you a cigarette or asks you if you want to smoke, the answer should be, I am not a smoker. Because if you said, oh no, I'm just trying to quit, eventually you would lead back to smoking. But if you identify yourself as you're not a smoker, I guarantee you, you will not go back to smoking. It's the change in identity that has such a great impact on people's behaviors. Number 3 mindset shift would be action over perfection. I can't speak enough about this point. It will seriously transform your life to something better. We procrastinate, we look for perfection. This YouTube journey, I used to always say, if I've got the perfect camera, if I've got the perfect studio, if I've got the perfect outfit, if I've got the perfect mic. And then, do you know what I'm recording on at the moment? I'm recording on an iPhone 12 with a DJI mic. And I'm just uploading videos because the purpose of me doing this was to spread a message. And you could spread a message as long as you've got half decent audio and a video. You can do it. So let's not wait for that perfect moment of having the perfect cameras and equipment around you to get started. The greatest change came, and what I really benefited from. So I was always wanting to have a business that would give me some disposable income. And I had a friend that started an Airbnb business a few years ago, and he did really well. And he would always encourage me to do the same. But I would always think about how I didn't have any experience in it, how I didn't know where to start, how I didn't have any experience in it, how I didn't know where to start, and how I didn't know what I would have to do. Until one Sunday morning, and I specifically remember it. It was back in June 2021. I woke up in the morning and I decided I'm going to get an apartment no matter what it cost me. And I remember, for some reason, I was kind of attracted to Facebook Marketplace, where I went onto Facebook Marketplace and I started looking for apartments in Birmingham city centre. And I found someone who was renting on behalf of their daughter. So it was an apartment. From that day till this day, I've now got several properties in Birmingham city centre, which I run. And they give me a disposable income on a monthly basis. I could do a whole different series of videos on that lucrative business, but it gives me a disposable income. It's pretty much passive income. But had I not started, I wouldn't have got to this position. So these 3 mindset shifts, believe me, if you start implementing it, it would completely transform your life. And I seriously encourage you to do it. Because if you're feeling stuck and you're waiting for the world around you to change, it's not going to happen. Believe me when I say this. that you do not attract what you want. You will attract what you are. So if you're looking to become successful, you need to become more disciplined, more consistent, more driven. You need to shift your identity to reflect that. And that's when you will become and get what you want. I hope you find value from this video. And if you do, please like, share, and subscribe. And put in comments, what's your mindset shift journey like at the moment? Are you currently working on anything? I'd love to know. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.